Hey guys, and welcome back to another wonderful episode of the Battlehawks Blitz. My name is Kenny. You can find me at Kenny UFM on Twitter. So, on this wonderful episode, we're going to be breaking down the wide receiver room. We're going to be breaking it down position by position. We're also going to break down some of the latest news that has happened this week. There's honestly not that much news, just because we are in that very awkward time in between the Super Draft and training camp. I don't expect there to be any substantial news until training camp. Maybe a week beforehand, but off and on, not going to be very much news. So this is a perfect time to break into the position by position breakdown. So let's just go in and jump straight into the news. And I have a very special treat for you this week. My beautiful wife Kenna is gonna be reading the news. So let's just jump into it.
Thanks, Kenny. Free agency is now underway. There has been a lot of noise in the reporting that we have been getting from the UFL. They have been announcing the players signing their letters of intent, including the protected players. This has caused some confusion with the rosters. The biggest surprise for the Battlehawks is the signing of kicker Andre Sisman of Syracuse, because they expected to re-sign Donnie Hagman, who holds the XFL record of 59 yards. One shocking bit of info is that Ocho Cinco wants to suit up and play for a UFL team, thanks to our own ace of United Football Media. Coach Flip of the Showboats has shown an interest, and the two are presumably talking. The odds of anything coming of this are slim. In other news, the St. Louis Cardinals will be hosting a Battlehawks theme night on April 22nd when they face the Diamondbacks. There will be an exclusive hat featuring the Battlehawks and the Cardinals that looks pretty sick. That's about all the news that we have that's worth covering this week. Back to you, Kenny.
Thank you very much, Kenna. Like I said, there was not that much news. So the biggest thing to take out of that is that Chad Ochocinco might be looking to join a UFL team. I highly suspect that is not going to happen. Like, for the biggest reason, he's been out of football now, for a very long time, and he does not have any shoulders, even though it might make him more aerodynamic, and the fact, I don't think that he would want to play for the salary that the typical UFL player is gonna play for. I just don't see him doing that. But I do see him being involved in the league in some capacity, and maybe as a sideline reporter, or maybe somewhere in the production. But it would make sense for Dwayne Johnson to get Ocho Cinco in there, because he is a very dynamic playmaker. Not just playmaker, but just a very dynamic personality. And there is one bit of news that we did not mention, because it just came out after we coded that news segment, because very surprising these segments don't get recorded at the exact same time. But anyway, and the wide receiver coach Ricky Paul. I cannot pronounce anything. That's the reason why I just brought over my lovely wife to basically do all of the difficult stuff, like speaking fluently, because it's not something I am very good at. But anyway, it has been reported on 101 ESPN in an interview is that he is not going to be coming back to the Battlehawks. I do not know if he chooses not to come back, or if Coach Beck wanted to make a change. I do know that that Ricky's son did not get picked back up by the Battlehawks, and so that might have had something to do with it. But honestly, the amount of info that we have been getting from the news lately, not from the news, but from the UFL, has been very, very slim. But the fact that they did announce that we are getting a Battlehawks theme night for the St. Louis Cardinals, and it comes with an exclusive hat that is melding together the two teams. I think it is a very good looking hat. But the best thing is that it is gonna put the Battlehawks in front of another professional sports team's fans. So it's gonna get everybody thinking of the Battlehawks. Everybody's gonna be talking about them, and it is going to be on April 22nd. So we would already be about 3 weeks into our season by then. So I think it is the perfect time. So make sure you get tickets to that St. Louis Cardinals game, and we show them what the Battlehawks are all about. Now let's go ahead and break into the position by position in the receiver room. Wait. 1 second. Come on, guys. I need you to hit that like button and that subscribe button. Now, and now I don't get paid for this, but I get paid by your love. So make sure that you show me some love if you want to keep this Battlehawks content going. I have such amazing plans. I keep trying to increase the production every single week, and also make sure you check out everyone else on the United Football Media, including our brand new show, the Polar Opposites. Now that I have got that out of the way, let's go ahead and send it back over to my beautiful wife in order to break down these Battlehawk wide receivers.
Hakeem Butler played for Iowa State. During his time as a Cyclone, he caught the ball 110 times for 18 touchdowns with a 19.54 yards per catch average and averaging about 60 yards per game. He played for our Battlehawks last year, leading the league with 8 touchdowns and catching the second most balls. 51 times for 599 yards, giving him 11.75 yards per catch and another 60 yards per game. He was drafted in the 4th round by the Arizona Cardinals, as well as spending time with the Steelers. Next up, Jamarcus Bradley, who spent the bulk of his college years with Louisiana. He played with them 52 games, pulling in the ball 160 times for 2,359 yards and 23 touchdowns. He has yet to play with the UFL, but he has spent a couple of years with the NFL, with the Browns and the Steelers. He was given the chance to play 8 games for the Browns, catching the ball 9 times for 124 yards. Next, we have one of the bigger names to join the Battlehawks this offseason, Ja'Cour Pearson. He spent the bulk of his college career at Western Kentucky and finished it up at Ole Miss. He played 47 games, caught the ball 131 times for 1,467 yards and 7 touchdowns. He was the top receiver in the UFL league last year, playing for the Sea Dragons. In his 10 games, he amassed 60 receptions for 670 yards and 4 touchdowns. The Battlehawks would not be the same this year without Darius Shepard, who was the Special Teams Player of the Year last year, returning 37 kicks for 907 yards. Back in college, he played 57 games for North Dakota State, bringing in the ball 188 times, gaining 2,841 yards and 20 touchdowns. Last year for the Battlehawks, he caught the ball 48 times for 519 yards and 6 touchdowns, the second most in the league. He spent a couple of years in the NFL returning kicks for the Packers and having short stints with the Chiefs, Jets, and most recently, the Chargers. Out of Oklahoma State, we have Marcel Ammon. He pulled in 146 catches over 50 games, racking up 2,466 yards and 13 touchdowns. He started 6 games for the Raiders and spent some time with the Cardinals and the Bills. Off the Sea Dragons, we have Blake Jackson. He actually played quarterback in college for Mary Hardin Baylor, completing his passes 65% of the time, racking up 3,282 yards and 36 touchdowns and only 9 interceptions in his final season. He played for the Roughnecks in 2020 and the Sea Dragons in 2023. In his 15 games, he caught the ball 50 times for 490 yards. He had the most to prove in training camp, with him still being new to the position. Next, we have James Bostic, who played for Vanderbilt and a year for Ohio, playing 48 games, getting in the chance to haul in the ball 49 times for 757 yards and getting 1 touchdown. This will be his first time playing professional football. Training camp will be big for him to show what he can do. Another Battlehawk made the training camp roster this year, Stephen Mitchell, who spent his college years playing at USC, playing 41 games, catching the ball 109 times for 1,283 yards and scoring 11 touchdowns. Last year for the Battlehawks, he played in 9 games, getting the ball 16 times and scoring us 4 touchdowns. He spent some time in the NFL, playing on the Texans and on the Rams, getting the ball 7 times for 97 yards. Fresh off the Jets practice squad is Jerome Kapp, who spent college in Kutztown, playing 36 games, catching 122 passes for 2,190 yards and 22 touchdowns. Rounding out the list is Jeff Thomas of Miami Hurricane fame. In his 33 games, he caught the ball 83 times for 1,316 yards. He did play for the Maulers in 2022, catching the ball 6 times for 54 yards. Jeff, like the rest of the wide receiver room, is looking forward to their chance to show that they deserve a spot on the final roster for the Battlehawks. Training camp in February will be huge for these guys. Kenny, going into training camp, what are your thoughts on our wide receiver room?
Well, that is a very good question. So, we have a wide mix, a wide mix of experienced players, and a mix of new players that have yet to play in the United Football League. And so I think that that is a very good mix, because we are going to get to see a lot of different looks in training camp. Now, the biggest thing is that it is very obvious that Coach Beck, that he is looking for speed and athleticism, and that is exactly what he has on this team. It was very crucial for them to get back some of our big name Battlehawks like Hakeem Butler and Darius Shepard, because both of them made a huge impact. Like with Hakeem Butler being the touchdown leader of the XFL last year, and Darius Shepard, he is just a super talented individual that whenever he gets the football, that you're going to see some amazing things. I would say that Jerome Cap is the most interesting pickup, and he recently spent the year with the New York Jets, but he never played. But he still spent a year on the roster, and he has some very good stats. He has some very good stats coming out of college. Even though it was a smaller college, which I think that is what is going to really benefit him, is that he has a lot to prove. And we also cannot forget to mention that we brought in Jaquil Pilson, and he is the quickest wide receiver out there. But he does have one downside, is that he is only 5'8". Honestly, for his career, I would recommend that he moves to defensive. That he moves to a defensive back, because that's the only way that he's going to make it into the National Football League. So I would definitely recommend that, but he is damn near perfect on what we need. Somebody who is that has a lot of agility that can definitely move the football. Blake Jackson. I have a feeling that that if he makes the final roster, it is because he would be the emergency quarterback if AJ McCarron does not come back. As in we would start Nick Torino and have Manny Wilkins as the backup, but have Blake there just in case something were to happen. And for the rest of the players, it's gonna be a real shootout in order to make the final the final roster, as we currently have 10 wide receivers, and that are going into training camp. It is possible that somebody might move over to a tight end position, but I don't see that being very likely, and so unfortunately, I would say at least two of these players are not going to be on are going to be on the final roster that is going into the start of the season. But that is what excites me. That is what excites me so much about the United Football League, is the fact that we have all of these young gentlemen that have been passed up by every NFL team out there. Like they just cannot get the respect that they deserve, and each and every one of these players, deserve to be playing. They deserve to be playing some professional football, and it is up to these players to take advantage of this second chance, because second chances do not come around that often. So if any players are listening, man, and you have to work the hardest that you have ever worked during this season. I would forget about all of the outside distractions and just become the best football player that you can, and so you have a chance at proving everybody wrong and making it into the National Football League and making that big money. And that's when you can start to celebrate. But the first thing, you have to put in that work. You have to make it happen. So guys, that is going to do it. That's gonna do it for this episode. I'll be back next week when we do a position by position breakdown. Position breakdown of another position group. I am thinking it is going to be the defensive backs, because guess what? We have a lot of defensive backs. But until next time, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and you tell me how much you love the Battlehawks Blitz. Make sure that you tell the world just how much you love the Battlehawks Blitz. And until the next time, I will see you around. Peace.